Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Firexfred. Here we have LiquidTLO again. We're casting some of the replays from a replay pack that LiquidTLO released from his laddering the other day. So we see the Hui, have fun, good luck coming in here from his opponent, VirusSatiini. I don't know much about VirusSatiini, but I'm assuming that he's a very good laddering player, as he is playing LiquidTLO on the ladder. We know that LiquidTLO is a very, very strong player. And a little bit of chat going down there. Tell me if it's PvP, and I will quit. Apparently he does not enjoy PvP. But LiquidTLO admitting that he thought his opponent was actually Terran. So a little bit of a nice banter there going on from our two players here. Time for some good time with Toss today, says VirusSatiini. Satini, I should say, as there are two eyes there. Chrono boosting on the probes, that is very standard stuff. Spawning pool is going down before a gas and before an expansion. This is a style that I've seen LiquidTLO do just a little bit against Protoss, so it seems like he likes to get a lot of Zerglings out against Protoss. Let's see if that's what he's going to want to do in this game. The last game that I did cast, he did do that to very great effect. He actually used Banelings and Zerglings to sort of hammer away and punish a fast sentry expand from the Protoss player. So let's see if he's going to want to do anything like that again. Still not getting his gas. It's going to be a long time before he actually gets any sort of speed or roaches or tech lair, that sort of thing. Excuse me. I just ate a giant pizza that I made myself. Making your own pizzas is such a satisfying endeavor. I recommend that you all try it. Very, very easy and cheap and good if you're a poor college student. It is an awesome thing to do. Cybernetic score going down, and still no gas from TLO. Just a queen being pumped out, and looks like he's going to try and expand as he clears out any sort of probe with these first couple of Zerglings, and he's going to be able to catch this probe probably. And wow, that probe doing some nice dodging, in fact. And this hatchery does go down right before that probe can get there to block it, but of course he does scout it, and that is good information for him to have. Meanwhile, back home, just the one gas for VirusSatiini. So probably not any sort of, if he doesn't get a gas soon, probably not going to be any sort of really heavy tech, any sort of Dark Templars or a quick Stargate or anything like that. Probably just get out a couple of units and maybe do a full warp gate. That is still possible at this point. And this is sort of a weird wall. We don't see this kind of wall a lot from Protoss, as this pylon is a lot weaker, and if there's any sort of Baneling bust, and actually getting that gateway down quite a bit, TLO does. But again, if you just have these two buildings, this Cybernetic score one hex over, you can put your Zealot right in there and block it the same as he's doing right now, but you don't have the weakness of this pylon. Back in the beta days, we would always see people block with the pylon here, and then the gateway right next to it. But of course, people found that that is so weak to Baneling busts and the like, so they stopped doing that and started to prefer this sort of Cybernetic score and gateway, a very strong wall off. And we do see two more gates coming down right now, as well as the other gas for Satini and a forge. So we're probably going to see some sort of very quick 3-gate expand with some cannons. Could be very good against this build from TLO. Not particularly to kill him, but in that TLO is going for some nice economy, and this build will be able to keep up in that economy race. So TLO using his Zerglings, I really like that. If you have your Zerglings, don't just have them sitting around, have them taking out rocks that you're inevitably going to want to take out anyway. A great use of them. I would like him to have a couple on the towers, of course, but he does have this one out here in the front, searching for anything that's going to be coming out at any time. Finally, we see the metabolic boost coming down. It is so late, actually. And let's take a look at the income tab. Because he decided to get that gas so late, actually, he is able to pull ahead in harvesters. He was able to get that gas out and all of these Zerglings, while still keeping the harvester lead by quite a bit. So that's an interesting thing to note about this build that TLO is doing. He decides to delay this sort of tech and he's getting an evolution chamber probably for some upgrades, as well as a baneling nest. So we might see some same sort of play as we saw in the last game. Photon cannons are going to be down though, so we'll see how effective these are going to be. No speed upgrade just yet. Let's take a look at the production tab. Going to be done pretty soon here is the metabolic boost, but like I was saying earlier, I like that he delays this. Actually, the baneling nest was cancelled, so he probably saw these cannons and realized that he wasn't going to be able to do much with the banelings, as cannons do take out banelings fairly quickly. But like I was saying again for the third time, delaying this tech so that he can get out a ton of harvesters as well as keeping map control with these zerglings. Of course without speed, but still they were able to, they don't need speed to take out rocks. And he gets this very, very quick second expansion, third base total. Of course, VirusSatiini not going to be able to push out really well anytime soon, as he did go for a pretty fast expand of his own. +1 attack is going down, it's almost done, and the +1 ground carapace is just about halfway done as well for these zerglings. So the +1 very good against anything. It gives you +1 armor, and of course that will even out against the +1 attack from our Protoss buddy. Another gateway going down right now, and these rocks being taken out as another expansion goes down for our friend LiquidTLO. He is taking a commanding probe lead, has some very nice vision all around the map because of all these zerglings he was able to get out very early because of delaying this tech just a little bit. And now getting a second evolution chambers. Let's take a look at that production tab. 16 more zerglings are on the way. That is actually so many zerglings. 65 zerglings right now compared to the 2 zealots, 5 stalkers, and 7 sentries of our Protoss friend here. He does have the ground armor level 1 coming out, but LiquidTLO with those 2 evolution chambers getting the melee attacks 1. And we'll see if he's going to want to get anything with the other evolution chamber, as this carapace does finish. And looks like TLO going in for a little bit of a flank, or no, just a straight up counter attack. No, a little bit of a flank here. That is so many zerglings, but some nice force fields cutting off most of the zerglings from being able to engage there. These zealots really need to be on the outside here. You don't want stalkers taking damage from the zerglings, and it looks like just a big counter attack coming in here from TLO. A nice wall off here actually for VirusSatiini forces TLO to withdraw, but these units are kind of out in the open. He might try and force some force fields just to waste that sentry energy. And going in for another attack right now with some nice force fields, cutting off a lot of the zerglings. A lot of the zerglings did get in there though, and more force fields being poured out. It looks like these units from the Protoss are going to be able to hold off that zergling attack, but of course using so much of the energy of these sentries, that crucial energy. There's still quite a bit, but a lot less than there could have been, and just more and more zerglings being pumped out for TLO. We don't see any sort of tech coming out that suggests that he's going to want to change at any time, and they're getting a pretty nice round, but of course those force fields being put up, forcing the units away. He's going to get a nice round on these units being warped in over here. And it looks like Satini's going to be able to clean that up, but more and more zerglings coming in, and now we see the Spire coming up. But more and more zerglings coming in, and I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this off if he gets a nice position. Our Protoss buddy gets a nice position back here in the back of the space, and TLO is probably going to have to sack this, as he's not going to be able to get a nice round on these units. And with these zerglings, he might just want to counter attack, but no, of course, a couple of cannons and a very nice wall off from Satini right now. This base is going up for Satini, but it isn't going to be enough. He does take out this one hatchery from TLO. But we do see that Spire coming up. It's almost going to be finished. Look at how much gas TLO has saved up, since he has just been massing zerglings, I should say. And now going in for that attack. Oh man, a little bit of a mistake there on the wall. Zerglings were able to run by there and get a nice surround on that cannon. And some nice force fields coming in, limiting the amount of probe kills that these zerglings are going to be able to rack up, and forcing the Protoss friend, our Protoss friend that is not TLO's friend, he is just demolishing him right now, his probe line anyway, and forcing him to pull back, and he gets out with minimal losses, as those zealot zerglings, I should say, are so quick.